morning, everyone, and welcome to my home front. It is March the 20th, 2020. It's 10:48 a.m. Eastern Time here in Pennsylvania. It's a cloudy, dreary, and foggy day. So what is the purpose of this video? Last night I was laying in bed and I was thinking all about World War II and thinking all about the radio shows that came into the homes of hundreds of Americans. I thought about how we're faced with a war these days that is of a virus that is undetected. And I thought, why don't I do something really different and unique? I thought maybe a couple times a week, out of the blue, I'm going to share with you a radio show coming from my home to yours. We're supposed to shelter in place, and what a perfect way to share with you my life in a radio show. You can watch this video or you can just turn it on and listen to it as you're going about your daily chores. There's going to be a lot of things I share with you in my radio shows. I'm going to be sharing with you step by step, moment by moment, what I'm doing each day. The films that I'm making here are exactly taken 5 minutes ago. So you're seeing in live action what I'm doing each day. So what you're watching right now is these are all of the onions and all of the garlic that we had planted just a couple weeks ago in my windowsill garden. It's time to take them outside. So what was it like in World War II when we didn't have the internet like we do these days? What was it like? The radio was very important. That was the only means of communication between loved ones. That and writing letters. So I'm going to share with you a lot of things about World War II and the home front. The poem is called The Last Landing. Off this earth I leave behind the sore God's heavens, till the sun and the stars I find, and fence and the towering clouds with others of my kind. Fear not if I should lose my way or keep sad hearts for my returning day. 'Tis that I flew the heavens too high and reached God's guiding hand and heard him answer to my cry. Your journey is done, now land. This poem was written by Sergeant Bomber Amer Artford Sleep before he left his squadron on a mission. He wrote and he left this poem for his mother if he should not return. He did not return, and he died on August 30th, 1944. The falling leaves. Today as I rode by, I saw the brown leaves dropping from their trees in the still afternoon, when no wind whirled them whistling to the sky, but thickly, silently, they fell like snowflakes wiping out of the noon, and wandered slowly thence. For thinking of a gallant multitude which now all withering lay, slain by the wind of age or pestilence, but in their beauty strayed, like snowflakes falling on the Flemish clay. By Margaret Cole, 1893 to 1990. The poem says, I saw the brown leaves dropping from the trees. The leaves represent soldiers on the battlefield who were left to rot, forgotten and lost forever. Another simile is like snowflakes falling from the Flemish clay. The snowflakes represent the soldiers melting together, forgotten. The Flemish clay is the Belgian soil where they were fighting took place. It's times like these that we rely on one another. We help each other out. It's times like these that we reflect on life and reflect on things that are important in our life. It's times like these that we take a step back and think about all of the things that we have lost in days gone by. Maybe it's time for us all to take a step back. Maybe it's time for all of us to realize, what is life really about? That's the number one question that people always ask. What is life about? What is the purpose for living? The purpose for living is to share with one another kindness and love, not just when we're in a nation with a nation of tragedy, but in times of plenty and in times of need, we are to share with one another in all things in our life. Sadly, too many times we think about when things get bad is when we help one another. But what about when times are good? Do we think about one another then? Do we focus on others and not just ourselves? A lot of us are shut in from our homes. I am. I'm not going anywhere these days. When's the last time you thought about your elderly neighbor who maybe has been shut in for months? Some for years. Some people are shut in for many reasons. Some people have anxiety, and the thought of leaving their home just puts them into a fear and panic. Some people are shut in from their homes because of their relationship with others. Maybe they have no one to help them in their times of need. Some people are shut in physically. They can't get out like you and I could. We need to gain peace in our lives, but not just in our lives, my friends. We need to share peace with other people. Let's put away our petty differences at a time like this, and let's put away all of the things that are so superficial in our life. Let's start focusing on helping one another. The drama of society, let's forget all about that. It doesn't really matter in the large scheme of things. What matters right now and what should matter in the rest of our life is what are we doing to benefit and to be a positive force upon other people and in their life. So on this damp and dreary and rainy day, where the fog is so thick, I reflect on all of the things that I do have in life, and I reflect on all of the blessings that I do have. I reflect on my loved ones that are long gone from this world, and I wonder, what lessons could they teach me today? I'm sure they would have a lot of lessons to teach because they've been through it. They've been through the Great Depression. It was times like those that were the worst of days, but yet they say it was the best of days. How can that be? How can it be the worst of times, but yet the blessed of the best of times? Because people looked at the blessings of their life. Family became more important. Loved ones became more important. Community efforts became more important in those days. Society has us looking at our phones 24/7, not worried about what tomorrow brings, and suddenly tomorrow is here. I've said it for years now. People, please open your eyes and wake up to the world that is around us, because that world could change in a blink of an eye. When tragedies happen in our lives, we're usually not forewarned of them. They come quickly. But if we can learn from these lessons in our life, we become better people. We are living in scary times, but more important, we are living in exciting times, because we are living in a time where we may have a chance to go back and just pick up for where we left off and maybe bring the simple parts of living back into our lives. Maybe we're forced to do that, but in doing so, it will change our life. When all this is said and done, my friends, please don't forget your lessons that you learned. It's not about the hoarding of paper towels and the hoarding of toilet paper. It's not about the hoarding of things that you think we need. It's about a slower pace of life and what it's like to be home more, and what it's like to interflect and think about, what did we learn through all of this? As the world does go back to normal, whatever that normal way be, I hope we take away from something from it in a positive way. I hope that our lives will be changed forever in a positive way. I know it has for me. My life will never be the same. I have prepared so many years towards a day like today, and suddenly I find myself wondering, can we really be totally prepared? We can't. but we can do the best that we can with what we have, and through it all, have a peace of mind in knowing that we've done the best we could and that we shared our life and our love with others. This will be the end of this radio broadcast, and I can't wait to share with you in the next days what my life is like on the home front.